Good afternoon, and Mr. Chairman, thank you for your leadership. I am Kathy Maness, the Executive Director of Palmetto State Teachers Association. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, thank you for your continued service to the students and the teachers, the professional educators of South Carolina. These are obviously unprecedented and challenging times in the schools across the state, and your work is so important to the success and well-being of the people that work and learn in our schools. I'm coming before you as a follow-up to the remarks that I made a few months ago concerning a joint letter dated July the 27th to the state board from our association, Palmetto State Teachers Association, and the SCEA. In that letter, the two associations asked the state board to refrain from issuing license suspensions to educators that feel compelled to breach their contract due to stated reasons related to COVID-19. At the time of the letter, our request was based on suspected but not yet experienced fear that the continuing public health threat posed by the pandemic would put some South Carolina educators in the impossible situation of choosing between their lives and their livelihood. Unfortunately, the situation we feared in July is now becoming reality for numerous educators across our state. The state board from our association, given the unique threat posed by COVID-19, many educators across our state are simply at a greater risk from exposure to the virus in a larger group settings, whether as a result of their own medical history or the medical needs of the individuals at their home. At the start of the year, many of these educators were able to balance their employment status and medical needs by using FMLA coverage, but we've now reached the point in the school year where those teachers have reached the end of that available coverage. As a result, we believe the continued rapid spread of COVID-19 in our state will lead districts experiencing growing numbers of COVID-related resignations. We hear every week from members that are considering resigning due to health concerns, and we have already seen early signs of COVID-related resignations in news reports across the state. On November the 6th, the Post and Courier reported that Charleston County Schools had experienced 18 more teacher resignations compared to the same time last year. In Dorchester, too, 5 more teachers have resigned. In Berkeley, reported 6 resignations due to COVID. In the Midlands, WLTX News reported on November the 11th that Kershaw County Schools had seen 7 resignations due to COVID, and Orangeburg reported 2. And in the upstate, WSPA News reported 63 more staff resignations in the Greenville County Schools compared to the previous year. What makes these numbers especially alarming is that South Carolina was already in the midst of a teacher shortage crisis before the pandemic. I know you are aware of the scope of the growing teacher shortage in our state, a crisis that was already stretching the capacity of our schools. Now, due to the pandemic, our state's teaching workforce is literally at the breaking point. For this reason, I come before you again today to reaffirm the request to refrain from any license suspension of educators that resign mid-year due to documented concerns of COVID-19. Ideally, our association would love to see local districts complete the hard work required to meet the medically related accommodations requests of their staff. The Accelerate ED Task Force gave districts a template for how to achieve this goal over the summer by encouraging districts to build their master schedules that allowed staff with medical concerns to provide remote instruction to students that opted to do distant learning. However, most districts in the state have failed to do that work, and we think the gradual increase in teacher resignations experienced to date will become an ever-growing wave as the virus continues to spread and staff exhaust their FMLA. These educators when they are compelled to resign due to health concerns, a situation that has caused many of them immense hardship and stress. These dedicated educators do not need the additional stress that results from a district seeking to suspend their license. Such an action is likely to eliminate whatever remaining chance there is that those educators will return to our classroom when the pandemic subsides, and this is a cost to our students that we cannot afford to pay. We are aware of at least 2 requests for license suspension due to COVID-related resignations that are scheduled for hearings in the near future. We ask that the State Board review these cases carefully, and if resignations are shown to be a result of COVID-related concerns, we ask the Board to reject the request of suspension. Thank you for your service. Those of you who are leaving this board, we appreciate you. I'm Palmetto State Teachers Association. I hope you all stay safe, stay healthy. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.